Hey, Nadia. I just came back from my 2 years of being overseas for work, and it seems that somebody went off and got married. Since when were you going out and doing all of that and never planning on telling me?
What? Blair? So you came back to the US then? Are you back for good now, or are you just here for a few weeks or something?
Just for a short bit, but that's not what I want to talk about right now. Answer the question I've asked you.
You want me to tell you about my marriage and how it's been? Well, Blair, as far as I can tell, I haven't gotten married yet. I'm still as single as I was when you left.
I know that you got remarried and are a mother now.
What? I'm remarried and a mother? Blair, what are you going on about?
And what is this about leaving your kid over at our house all the time now when you just had them not too long ago?
What kid are you talking about, Blair?
What the hell do you think you're doing going on vacations like that all the time while leaving your baby at my house with my wife? Are you freaking insane?
Excuse me? Since when have I been leaving any baby over at your house with Carson?
I'm sure the reason you thought you could get away with it is because she's a housewife and has all this time on her hands, right? But that does not mean you could just use her as your babysitter. And you haven't even been coming over to drop your kid off either, instead having one of your friends do it for you every time. I'll tell you right now that I never expected to hear such BS going on in my household ever, because my house is not your baby's freaking daycare. Get over to my house right now.
I can't right now. I'm out of town on a trip.
Huh? So you've gone and done it again? Leaving your kid in my wife's hands while you run off to have some more fun? Where did you go this time, huh? Are you out having an affair or something now?
Calm the hell down, Blair. Dang it, guy, you're starting to piss me off now.
Do you think I can freaking calm down right now? My own wife has been getting harassed by my older sister and her baby.
I have never had a baby before.
Huh?
Listen, asshole, I have never had a baby. And by the frickin' way, this is my 12th year now of not being in any serious relationships.
Wait, really?
I am so frickin' sorry that I'm not good enough for any men anymore. Now would you cut that crap and stop making such stupid jokes about me? I am actually going to block you if you keep that up.
Then you being on that trip is...
I am on vacation with Mom for her birthday. Her and I came to this beautiful resort to relax and enjoy the spa. So you have a problem with us being here?
Now that you mention it, Mom's birthday. And it'll be next Tuesday, right?
That's right. And since both Mom and I have jobs during the week, we decided it would be best to take this trip during a long weekend. Dad is back at home taking care of things while we're gone, and if you'd like, you can call him right now and he'll say that to you.
Okay.
All right, so do we have a freaking problem here?
No, we don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Then we can stop talking now. Right now, I'm going to get into the hot tub with Mom so that we can relax before starting our day.
Wait. I wasn't lying about my wife having a baby with her right now.
What?
So far, her and I haven't been trying to have a baby or anything. And you should even understand that since I've been away for 2 years now.
Fair point. And one of you would have said something if you were trying for a kid. Also, I've seen Carson a few times while you've been out of the US, and she never seemed to be pregnant.
Right? I was shocked by the fact that she was having to care for this baby, so I asked where it came from. She told me for the past month and a half now, you've been having one of your friends bring your baby over and dropping them off with Carson.
What the hell?
I get that it's not your baby now. But the fact that there is this random baby in our house who has been under my wife's care for the past month and a half is concerning me.
I see.
Please, help me figure all of this out. I have no idea what happened here while I was gone, and now I'm starting to panic. Just tell me something. Is there anything you can remember that would tie into this?
I just asked Mom about it all as well. But she told me she hasn't really seen Carson for over a year now and has only ever been able to text and call with her once or twice. The same goes for me, actually. The last time I saw her was around 9 months ago, and that was out in public. Your guys' house is about an hour away from us, so it's rare for me to see her unless we make plans, which we haven't been.
That makes sense. All right.
Let me ask you this. Before you came back home, did you say anything to Carson about it?
No. I plan on this to be a surprise for her. And so I never even hinted at the fact that I'd be back in the States and coming home. So when I came into the house to surprise her...
There was a baby with her that you've never even seen or heard about before?
That's correct. Honestly, what the hell is going on here? What all caused this to happen? No, wait. I kind of know what it could be. Right now, I actually kind of suspect her of cheating on me, Nadia.
Well, before you start to blame her or anything, you need to make sure you have evidence of that sort of thing. Well, at least now I understand what you were screaming like a bitch for. Today is the last day of our trip, and we'll be checking out this morning after we're done in the hot tub. On our way home, we can swing by your place and see what all is going on with Carson and that baby. How does that sound?
That's fine. I'm sorry for texting you in such an awful manner while you were with Mom.
Well, today is the last day anyway, so you didn't kill too much of my mood. But don't think that I fully forgive you yet for the way you acted. Just, for the time being, calm down. Also, do not do anything that would make Carson think you're catching on to her. Don't question her about anything, don't yell at her about anything, don't do anything that would make her feel unsafe around you. We're not sure what happened that led to her having to care for that baby, and for all we know, maybe there is something serious going on with the baby's parents.
Understood.
Nadia? Long time no see. I'm sure a little bit ago you got a few texts from your brother about some things.
Wow, hi Carson. It's been a long while.
I'm really sorry for not talking with you or your mom much this past year. And about this baby. I found out this baby isn't actually yours, and that kind of shocked me as well.
Oh, I see. I was actually just talking with my mom about all of that, and we were thinking it would be a good idea to tell you that it's not mine. Thankfully, someone told you the truth. I heard quite a bit about what's been going on from Blair, but I'm still not fully understanding the situation.
Nadia, do you know anything about a girl named Jillian?
Jillian? If this is the same Jillian that I'm thinking of, then she was a classmate of mine back in high school. Carson, is that dumbass a friend of yours or something?
She was in the same club as me back in middle school, but was 2 years above me, of course.
Really? Is that right? Huh. Why are you bringing her name up with me right now? Does this mean...
Yeah. The person that came over to our house bringing this problem child with her who said it was yours was Jillian.
Are you sure?
Pretty much every time she's done this, she makes sure to remind me that you both are really good friends and that I shouldn't bother you about this when you're already aware. She told me that if I did ever say something to you, she'd do the same things she did to me back in my middle school. As a threat.
I see.
I knew that you of all people wouldn't have. Well, you get what I mean. But Jillian pressured me into taking the baby, and so there was nothing I could do besides act as its mother while she was away. I was going to get in touch with you about this, but I'd been so busy with the baby and everything else that I couldn't. And it's been a few weeks now since the last time I've seen Jillian. Back in high school, Jillian ended up in the same class as me my sophomore year. And, during that year, she just so happened to be really into my little brother, to the point she'd tell me about it in person. She would always come up asking me to introduce her to him, and that she'd make my little brother into her boyfriend. It got to the point where she became way too annoying about it.
What? So that's the connection you had to her?
I guess so. But at the time, Blair had a girlfriend of his own. So one day I told her to F off and that she needed to find some other man her age. And, well, that seemed to have pissed her off a lot and left her with some remaining anger towards me. Then for the rest of my time in high school, she would do so many things to me to make it clear that she hated my guts. It was a pretty bad time.
I see now. I wish I could have gotten to you with all this information sooner. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize to me for anything. What do you plan to do now, though?
Good point. Well, before I say anything about this to Blair, do you mind coming out with me to a hotel near A Station so that we can talk in the lobby?
At that old hotel?
I plan to stay there tonight, so it would make things easier on me.
So you're out of the house right now? All right. I'll see you at that hotel then.
I'm sorry for dragging you into this, but thank you for working with me here.
Blair, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be a little bit late.
What? Why's that?
The bus that we were going to be taking back home seemed to have broken down, and now we're going to have to wait for someone to fix it. Well, it's already been fixed, but we're only just getting comfortable on it now. We won't be able to ride it all the way back home, but luckily we will be connected to a new bus at a station between here and home. So it'll be about 30 minutes, and then we'll be on that new bus and on our way home. To your home, I mean.
Seriously? All of that had to happen today? Well, I guess we're both having some issues now. I just realized that both Carson and that baby have disappeared.
They disappeared?
I think they have both just gone out to get some fresh air, but she didn't say anything to me about it, and never told me when she'd be back.
I see. Well, she can't be going far if she has that baby with her, so just wait a little while for her to get home, all right? I think she's just gone out for some fresh air, like you said.
All right, then. I guess I'll just think about what you and I are going to do.
Nadia, thank you so much for coming to see me today.
Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you for telling me everything you could about your situation and what you've known. I guess tomorrow I'll get started on looking into Jillian and seeing why she's brought you that baby so many times.
All right. Once again, I'm sorry for dragging you into this, but thank you for your help.
Nadia, help me. What the heck is going on here?
All right, Blair. What is it this time?
Why are you not getting all worried about me right now? You sound like you don't even care. It's been weeks now and Carson has still not come and she hasn't even said anything. But that friend of yours, Jillian, just came over to my house and she brought that troublesome baby with her. She told me to acknowledge her and to marry her right now.
Oh, I see. Yep. I get it now. So she's begun her plan of attack.
Huh? What the hell? Nadia, do you know something about what she's doing?
Listen, Blair. That baby she has, that's your baby.
What?
And that baby's mother is Jillian.
Wait, that can't be. I've been out of the country for 2 years now and only just got back.
Blair, give that lie up. It's already been seen through. Everything is known about you now. That's why right now things are starting to be set in motion. Do you understand?
What? What the hell?
Blair, while you were overseas for work, you ran into Jillian, right?
No, wait, that's not true.
As it turns out, actually Jillian works for one of the branches of the company you've been working for. And for a little while, she was sent out to the same area you were living, over in Australia, and that's where the both of you met one another. I'm not sure what all happened that led to you both becoming so close, but I am well aware now that you had some private business to attend to with her. After all that happened, Jillian's time was up over there and she had to return to the US before you. However, when she got back here, she found out that she was pregnant. By the time she found out about being pregnant, there wasn't much she could do but have that baby. But she herself has a fiancé, and in order to not have that fiancé find out she had relations with another man overseas and got pregnant from him, she had her baby in secrecy. She also started to look at your social media during that time and found out that the father of her baby so happened to be married to the girl she used to pick on back in middle school. And so she went to her, Carson, and started to force her to take the baby. All of that was stuff I found out during the past 2 weeks. Do you have anything to say about it?
Nadia? No, Carson is
getting a divorce.
What? Like hell she is. I don't want to get a divorce.
You have no right to say no to the divorce after you cheated on her.
But Nadia, once Jillian turned into an adult, she wasn't that fat whale she once was back in high school. She became so good looking and I just had to get a piece of her. She turned into this woman that every man in the office was wanting.
Guy?
Come on!
Ugh. I never thought my own little brother could say things like that to one of his family members. I am so heartbroken by this that I'd like to cry.
But come on!
But come on this, come on that. How about you shut the hell up for once, Blair? Mom, Dad, and myself are all on Carson's side here.
What? You guys aren't going to help me out here?
Who the hell would want to help a dick like you?
No way. Nadia. Those talks about me getting a promotion have all stopped dead in their tracks.
Huh?
I'm having to pay a settlement to not only Carson in the divorce, but also to Jillian's now ex-fiancé who says that I deserve to rot in hell with Jillian for what I've done. And that led me to losing every last bit of my savings. I don't have anything left, and now the courts are asking for me to borrow money in order to pay the rest of the settlement fees off. The company caught word of what's happened with me, and now they are not only letting those talks about my promotion, but they are also cutting my salary.
I see. Well, from what I remember, the company you work for is a very strict company when it comes to people's ethics, and you've been fairly unethical around your wife.
And it's not just that. My leader told me that he no longer wants me working directly under him, and so the company is having me transfer back overseas, but this time to Colombia. I'll be working at a brand new factory there, and they said it some time before I was allowed to come back to the US. What the hell am I going to do?
You're going to be taking Jillian and your baby with you, all right?
What?
This is what Carson told me. She said that if you and Jillian both get out of this country and move to Colombia together, that she'd be willing to cut the settlement she's asked for in half. So?
What? She couldn't have said that.
And as for myself, Mom, and Dad, the three of us no longer want to help you anymore.
You're going to throw away your little brother you know?
Stop trying to make me feel bad for you after you asked for all of this.
Nadia, no!
Originally, Blair was supposed to be back in the US for a little while after coming back from Australia. But after his wife was forced to take on a random baby, we learned that the baby was his and that he had made it with another woman he had an affair with, which forced him to leave the US again. And with the help of Carson getting her divorce from him and forcing him to pay a massive settlement, Blair chose the other option and took Jillian and the child with him and left. Of course, my mom chewed him out so hard, one could say he was bleeding from his ears before going, and that was the end of him. There was one last thing he needed to do, though, before Carson allowed him to only have to pay half of the settlement, and that was marrying Jillian. And so just before they got on a plane to leave, they were spotted at the courthouse, both crying as they handed in their marriage forms. That was the last time I heard anything from Blair, and the rest of his small family for that matter. Well, thank goodness for that. And I think for Carson, it was so wonderful to finally not have some stranger's baby in her arms 24/7 anymore. However, just as we thought things were finally over with, a couple months later we got one phone call from Columbia, and it was from Blair's new boss. He told us that Blair was having relations with a woman inside his new office, and that Jillian had found out and showed up to teach him a lesson. His boss wanted to ask us if we wanted to come out there to see him in the hospital, but my parents and I told him Blair wasn't related to us. And so the boss said he was sorry for disturbing us and hung up the phone, finally putting an end to things. Ugh.
Shigeto, are you done with work now? Got a minute? Hurry up and reply!
I'm still working at the moment. What is it?
What?
There was some trouble at work today, so I won't make it home till late. If I don't handle this properly, I might not even get to come home at all today.
Shigeto, that's just not good enough. I bet you caused the trouble, didn't you? What did you mess up?
No, Mom. I can't give you any details because it's private work matter, but you can rest assured I'm only trying to clean up someone else's mess.
What? You clean up a mess? Ugh, lol. You mean a lazy good-for-nothing salary thief with a worse work ethic than a pile of rocks is acting like a real employee and actually solving problems at work? Lol, I'll believe it when I see it.
It's the truth.
Anyway, never mind that. There's no way a failure of a human being like you could ever do anything useful at work. So stop being a burden on your poor coworkers and come home.
Just because you say that doesn't mean I can suddenly leave.
Another thing, I just want you to buy us some sushi on your way home.
Sushi? Are you celebrating something?
Miyoko's going to be living with us from today.
Huh? Miyoko?
Her divorce was finalized today.
What? This is the first I've heard of it!
It's not like I'll lose any sleep over it, though. Good grief. I mean, really? The only reason I approved the marriage to begin with is because her husband had a good salary. Apparently, Miyoko's new mother-in-law was just the worst, and she forced them to go get a divorce.
Wow, seriously?
That's why I want to treat my poor broken-hearted daughter to some sushi to make her feel better.
Oh, I see.
I can't get away from work right now. But I'll tell you what, I'll order you takeout with all of Miyako's favorites. Surely that's good enough?
No, it's not good enough!
If you do that, we'll be the ones paying. Won't you think for once before you speak, Shigeto?
Didn't I tell you a friend of mine runs the sushi restaurant by the station?
Huh?
He'll be fine. Just tell the delivery driver I'll cover the bill when I see him next.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, I'll allow it.
Anyway, I'm heading back to work.
Good grief, Shigeto. I see you're as blunt and unsociable as ever. If not for your financial contribution to the family every now and then, you really would have absolutely no value as a human being. You could do with learning a thing or two from Miyako about being obedient towards your parents, and maybe even becoming more sociable while you're at it.
Miyoko was always yours at Dad's favorite because of her gentle, outgoing personality, huh?
Of course! She's practically a different species to you, who spent all your time growing up rotting away playing video games on that darn computer of yours.
Yeah. I get it. I'm a brainless half-man with no reason to exist besides being your personal ATM. Bye.
Good morning, big bro. How's it going? Thanks so much for the sushi last night. It was amazing. You ordered all my favorites. I heard you couldn't make it home due to some trouble at work. Is everything all right?
Hey, Miyoko. Everything's been dealt with now, so it's all good. I just took a power nap, and I'll be working until dinner time, then heading home.
I see. You really do work hard. See you later then.
Hey, wait a second. I should be the one asking you if you're okay. I heard you got a divorce. What the hell?
Oh,
I was so shocked. I didn't know anything about it.
well, things with the mother-in-law didn't exactly go smoothly.
What about your husband, Arata? Isn't he the one that matters?
Yes, well, actually. The problem was just his mom. It's not like things were bad between us as a couple. So please, don't worry about me.
Really?
It's a conversation that will probably get pretty long-winded, so I'll tell you everything after you get home from work.
I see. Seems like you've been going through a lot.
Actually,
Hmm?
there is a little plan I was wondering if you could help us with.
What do you mean?
It's pretty serious. In fact, I think it could have a knock-on effects for you down the line.
Knock-on effects for me?
Doesn't that give it away? You might not remember, but it's something me and you discussed half seriously back in middle school.
Oh, that?
I'd rather talk about this outside.
In that case, shall we go and grab some lunch together?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'll make my way to your workplace now. There is a restaurant district not far from your company building, right?
There is, but everywhere will be packed with it being dinner time. Shall we get a private room at my friend's sushi restaurant?
Good idea. The conversation will get complicated, there's no doubt about it. So it's probably better if we have our own space. Oh, yeah. Do you mind if Arata comes?
Sure thing. I'll book a private room for 3 then, okay?
Great! Thanks, big bro. Oh, and of course, please don't mention anything about this to Mom or Dad.
Got it.
Shigeto, are you there? Just listen to this! You'll never believe it! I'm such a lucky mother! Miyako really is the most thoughtful daughter! Me and your dad are so blessed to have her. She's nothing like you, who ran off with your tail between your legs and abandoned the family home 2 months back.
What do you want all of a sudden? Anyway, it was you and Dad who kicked me out because you needed a room for Miyoko to stay in. Or have you conveniently forgotten that minor detail?
So get this. Miyoko is planning to buy an apartment for me and your father!
Huh?
We found the documents for an apartment in a tower block in her room. She said that she wasn't working right now, so I can only assume she intends to pay for it with the compensation she won from her ex-husband.
Wait, did you go into her room while she wasn't there?
What's wrong with that? I'm her mother, you know.
Just because your family doesn't mean there's no such thing as privacy.
Don't be silly. There's no one who seriously cares about that kind of thing. You're just jealous, Shigeto. That girl is so precious. She does everything we expect of her, just like we raised her to. You and her couldn't be more different. Mine and your dad's parenting was a tremendous success with her.
You've got some nerve to say that after you kicked me out of the house. Not only that, but you conveniently ignore the fact that $1,500 I was putting into the family finances every month while I lived there is still going into your bank account to this day.
Well, of course it is. It's your duty to support your mother and father, you silly boy. Plus, if not for sending us that money, you'd have no value as a human being whatsoever, so you should be grateful for the opportunity. Make sure you carry on paying too. Fulfill your debt of gratitude to your parents, you ungrateful cretin.
Somehow or other, I convinced myself that sticking around and helping out around the house would be the right thing to do as the eldest son.
Whether you're here or not makes no difference to us.
I see. Anyway, that thing you said about Miyoko buying you the apartment in the high-rise? Don't you think you might be jumping to the wrong conclusion?
No, what makes you say that? Don't be silly.
Really? So you're sure?
We don't need her to come straight out with it. As her parents, we understand. After all, we raised her without nothing but love, care, and affection. It's only natural that she'd want to return the favor. We knew it was for us straight away.
Interesting. Was that all you wanted?
Yes. We'll be living like celebrities in a luxury apartment in peace and quiet without a care in the world. You, on the other hand, will be living on an economic cliff edge in a filthy, rundown apartment like the tragic little weasel boy you are. It looks like the gap between us is set to get rather wide soon, but please do your best not to hold any grudges. One more thing. If you even so much attempt to leech off us, we'll be cutting you out of our lives immediately.
Yeah. Do whatever you want. Hey, Miyoko.
Oh, big bro.
Apparently, Mom let herself into your room and found the documents for that apartment in the tower block. Is everything alright?
She did? I knew it. I had a feeling someone had been in there.
You noticed?
More or less. She has been a chronic over-interferer ever since we were little kids, so I guess nothing changed. My privacy in that house is as good as non-existent.
Sounds like things are tough for you, too.
I know what she's like, though, which is why I left those documents out for her on purpose.
What? You serious?
I thought if I left her a few breadcrumbs to follow, she'd be satisfied and not dig any further into what we're actually doing. By the way, the documents I let her find were for an apartment I'd already crossed off my to-be-considered list.
Ah, I see.
I had the documents relating to the stuff I didn't want her to find sent to Arata's workplace, so it's no problem that she found what she did. Everything's going as planned on our end. There's no need to worry.
I see. I'm pleased to hear that. But if you do ever find yourself in any kind of trouble, I want you to know that you can always rely on me.
Got it. Thanks a bunch, big bro.
Good night, sis.
Nighty-night. Shigeto, pick up the phone! I need help.
What is it?
Miyoko's not here.
Huh?
Oh no! Whatever am I going to do? We were supposed to be moving today.
Moving?
I told you before, didn't I? We're moving into the apartment in the high-rise tower block Miyoko bought for us.
What? Are you really still talking about that?
What do you mean still talking about it? Of course I am. It's our new home, for heaven's sake.
What has Miyoko said to you about you guys moving into this apartment? What do you mean?
She said the move's today. She said she already hired the removal company and mentioned something about a van coming today.
Did she tell you where you were going?
I don't know. She said that she wasn't ready to tell me yet.
Didn't you find it strange that she wouldn't tell you your new address?
No, why would I? After finding the documents in Miyoko's room for the apartment, I just assumed she wanted to surprise me. You know how that girl loves surprising people. I thought it would be rude to dig any deeper. So I decided to leave it there, and I let her do what she needed to do. Anyway, more importantly, Where on earth has she gotten to?
She's eating breakfast with me.
Huh?
She moved into the bottom floor of my apartment.
What? The bottom floor?
That's right. A completely different place to the one in the documents you found while snooping around her room.
What are you talking about? This isn't the time for jokes, son. Me and your father are moving into a luxury tower block. We're going to be VIPs, I tell you. Don't get my luxurious new home confused with your shabby, rundown apartment. They're leagues apart, lol.
I'm curious, Mom. Tell me, why, in spite of the fact I never told you my address, are you so convinced I live in a rundown apartment?
What? Isn't it obvious? You've been sending $1,500 a month back home to us since you moved out. On your salary, there's no way you could afford to live anywhere nice and with outgoings that high. A cardboard box in a slum would probably be out of your price range.
Interesting. Does that mean you kicked me out of the house on the assumption I'd be forced to live a life of poverty and destitution, and on top of that, still demanded $1,500 a month?
I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, but as a failure of a human being whose only talent is wasting time playing computer games, looking after your parents is the only value you have. Whether you live in poverty or not, me and your father should be top priority.
Wow, you deserve a Mother of the Year award. Well, I guess it'll be time soon. Our plan is almost complete.
Your plan? What are you talking about?
I started an online business back when I was in university, using the coding skills I've been developing ever since I was a kid.
What? A business on the internet?
The computer you used as a pretext to treat me like a moron was actually my biggest asset all along.
What does that mean?
Basically, it means I make a lot of money. Enough to allow me to live comfortably on the top floor of a luxury high-rise tower block with spending money left over.
You make that much?
That's why sending you guys $1,500 a month was no big deal. In fact, I barely noticed it.
You're lying!
Whether you believe me or not makes no difference. Anyway, as for Miyoko, regarding the move itself, she hired a removal company that offered nighttime service so she could escape without you noticing.
What? She left in the night?
The fact that you didn't have a clue means that either the removal men are really good at what they do, or you're such a deep sleeper that you could fall out of bed without waking up. Here's some more info for you. Her and Arata got remarried after they divorced.
What?
I know you're aware of what was going on with Arata's mom and her malicious bullying toward Miyoko. But if you'd have asked, you'd have known that. As the eldest son and youngest child, Arata, just like Miyoko, was sick and tired of his mom's over-interfering attitude. And so, in a bid to escape from the clutches of the meddling tyrant, they resolved to put on a spectacular charade in which they divorced to throw her off the trail and remarry later. They also asked if I'd help them pull it off, which I did. Mom, Dad, me and Miyoko, starting today, I've decided to completely cut off all contact with both of you forever.
What? Wait.
I bank transferred you $7,500 earlier today. As much as I can't stand you, I'd hate for you to struggle unnecessarily. Think of it as a goodbye consolation package. Please, use the money to forge out a life for yourselves. From then onward, stand on your own 2 feet for a change.
Please, just hold on. Don't be so brash. If you do this, we won't have anywhere to live.
What? Why?
We sold the house because we thought we were moving into Miyoko's luxury apartment block.
What?
And we used all the money up on debt repayments.
What? Wait, what? I didn't know you were in debt.
Well, we are. Please let me and your father live in your apartment with you. We'll be one big happy family. You owe us this for your parents. Right?
That's strange. I was sure I just told you. We're cutting off all ties.
But even still, surely the least you can do is send us the money, 1,500, just like you've been doing all this time. You are rich after all.
Dad's still working and bringing in money of his own. And there are tons of people your age still working normal jobs. It wouldn't be that hard to find something. If you do something about your wasteful spending habits, I have absolute faith the two of you can get by somehow or other.
Wait!
Nyoko's gonna be living with me now, and we'll always have each other's backs as brother and sister. I know you lack the conscience required to worry about us. But me and her are gonna be absolutely fine. As for you two, good luck. Goodbye forever, Mom. Apparently, the $7,500 in settlement money I sent to my parents disappeared within a few days, spent entirely on a shabby, rundown apartment, and paying off the remainder of their debts. After that, my dad stopped working. Or rather, he was dismissed after causing an incident with a coworker. There really is no helping that man. As a result, he got no severance package, and their finances hit rock bottom in the blink of an eye. With their lives filled with nothing but anxiety and despair, they soon turned against each other. Eventually, the marriage broke down and they each went to live with their parents. However, both of their families were already fully aware of the chain of events leading up to their dishonorable returns. As such, they were met with a cold reception and eventually kicked out. Having no choice but to scrape together and combine what little they had to rent an even shabbier apartment than before, they spent their days either cursing each other to oblivion or working to exhaustion. In spite of that, unable to keep up with their debt repayments, they were lost in a dark tunnel without so much as a sliver of light at the end of it. But that's hardly a surprise. Without fixing their wasteful spending habits, I doubt they have a hope in hell's chance of getting out of their predicament.